तो दोस्तों ever since I came to the US मैंने कई सारे cultural differences and shocks देखे हैं which leads to financial losses among new international and Indian students who come to the US. A quick example could be roommates के साथ financial issue या फिर scam on selling something online जैसे आप OLX पे बेचते हो in India. So example is when you're trying to get rent from your roommate वो आपको एक check देता है and that check can actually take 3 days to show up cleared in your bank account, but पहले से ही amount आपके बैंक में दिख जाती है. So let's say a roommate or something you're selling online, let's say you're selling something on Facebook Marketplace, let's say that person gives you through check and that's $1,000 on your bank account. When you deposit it, आप phone पे deposit कर सकते हो, which was a shock, but when you deposit it, it seems like oh $10,000 or $1,000 added automatically, but 3 days later that amount can be removed as well if it fails. And इसको advantage लेके काफ़ी लोग क्या करते हैं, they say कि यार I accidentally gave you $1,000, can you give me 500 back, because अगर rent 500 है they might say कि यार 500 extra चले गए, and when you give 500 back which could result in financial loss because वो $500 will become into minus $500 and that 1,000 will be gone. So that's why my recommendation will be very careful with using checks and most of the time use Zelle Pay. Zelle Pay is basically UPI, जैसे इंडिया पे UPI payments है, similarly there is Zelle Pay and it is irreversible. अगर किसी ने आपको पैसे भेजे, it cannot be removed from your bank account, but it can be through checks, bounce checks or PayPal. So PayPal भी कम से कम use करो. Someone can say that कि यार इसने scam किया था, so money will go back to the owner's bank account. So be careful. Now, number 2 way to save money is by getting scholarship in the US and by choosing universities which are cheaper. Currently, the most expensive universities you might have heard are NYU, which has yearly expenses of $80,000. $24,000 to dorm hai. You might be able to save it some amount if you live in New Jersey as compared to New York, but $80,000 per year, you cannot define it that it is worth it unless you use the most of it in networking and make quality friends as well. If you're just living in your dorm, in your apartment and going to NYU or going to an affordable university, it is the same thing because you're not using the opportunity of going out, making friends, doing networking. So that's why if you think you are an introvert, at least do not spend money on an expensive university. Spend that money, spend that time in networking opportunities. Spend that money in flying to networking events like conferences. Spend that money in going to career events which are outside your city, like California. If you're in New York, go to California. If you see an event in Atlanta, come there. So go wherever you want to, where you can find quality friends, quality events, and that will pay you more through networking, more opportunity to find internships, more friends, more networking, and more opportunities to find jobs as well. Through 25 lakh rupees to 30 lakh rupees, to be somewhere around that I got from my parents in my first 2 years of college, usse I was able to pretty much survive 4 years of college, including undergrad and masters. Now, number 3 way to save money, which is also one of my favorite, thanks to our video sponsor Zolve, is to get a bank account through Zolve, because when you try to open a bank account in the US, sometimes you have to take appointments, sit with them, but Zolve makes it really easy. You can apply for it before coming to the US and you will have a bank account before you land with FDIC insurance, so that you don't have to worry about कि पैसे गायब तो नहीं होंगे. You don't have to worry about all of it. And plus with Zolve credit card, because whenever you want credit in the US, you need social security number. And if you do not have social security number, that means you do not have credit history and you'll not be able to get apartments or cars, whatever you want to buy in the US, you'll not have history. But Zolve makes it possible to have from day one in the US, and they report your transactions, your history that you're taking loan and repaying it. That's what you do with credit card. And with that history, you are reported to all 3 credit bureaus in the US and you have history, credit score, as well as history from day one. That also without social security number, and you can apply with just I-20 and visa. Big benefit with Zolve is high credit limit. US में अगर आपको loan लेना हो, there is very high interest rate and very difficult. But Zolve comes with higher credit limit. So let's say अचानक से you have an apartment bill, कई बार आपको furnish करना है, huge tuition bill, whatever you want to, you can afford with high limit and pay later as you go. Next, cashback. Zolve has great cashback opportunities wherever you do shopping, whether it's subscription or at a store you buy. For example, with Zolve Black, you can choose 5 brands where you shop a lot, 5% cashback on those transactions, and on every other brand, you get 1.5% cashback. And all of this comes with no transaction fee, no foreign transaction fee, no ATM withdrawal fee, whether you're in New York City, जहाँ पे cash use होता है, you withdraw cash anytime, no fees at all, and with no account application fee as well. You can just use the link in description and apply immediately. बहुत stress-free process. So overall, Zolve handles everything, nitty-gritty details of an Indian student life in US. Whether you want to send money from India to US, US to India, makes it easy. Whether you want to get rentals insurance, health insurance, they have packages for that as well. On top of that, आपको referral bonus भी मिलता है if you want to refer your friends. Another earning opportunity for you, and आपको पूरी spend analysis मिलती है. So what are you waiting for? You can apply for Zolve credit card immediately, because the later you apply, more difficult it can be. So do it immediately and you will have it in the US. Number 4 way of saving money and staying away from the scams is by getting a cheaper health insurance, which is also a scam in the US, because many health insurance companies which you might think are cheaper, they might not give you any coverage at all. It might say on paper so and so coverage, so it is really tricky to find the best health insurance. My advice to you will be that get health insurance from the university if you're not sure that this third-party insurance is reliable. Even though it is expensive, NYU mein it is almost like $4,500 a year on health insurance. In Georgia State, it was almost $2,500 a year. It is expensive, but if you get the cheaper one, you may have to pay more for just a scratch on your finger, maybe thousands of dollars. Good health insurance pays off in the end, but इसमें पैसे save करने की कोशिश मत करो. Number 5, many professors say buy books in advance if you want to get a head start in your class, but do not buy them. Many times, PowerPoint slides given by the professor are good enough, and आप अपने friends से share कर सकते हो if they are buying. So do not buy in advance. Do not be the first bencher and just stick to what your professor says. Come a little bit behind, discuss with other friends, and then come to a conclusion whether you need to buy this online book, online subscription the professor is asking to. You might be able to find more ways to save if you are in discussion with your classmates. My next advice will be graduate early. So if you are graduating in 1 year instead of 2 years, you're paying less housing fees, less tuition fees, and you are able to quickly graduate and get a full-time job. And it worked for me, it might not work for you. So you have to see when you have the dream job, when you feel like ready to enter the corporate world. So there are many variables there, but it worked for me because I was actively applying for jobs, plus I was actively pushing myself, I need to take more classes every semester. I need to take AP exams, CLEP exams, because they allow you for undergraduate degree to skip college classes and you can graduate early. For masters, the only way is to take more classes every semester. If they say 3 classes, take 4 so that you can graduate early, because if you graduate early, you're saving up on housing fees, tuition expensive, and it is worth it in the end. And this way you can save a lot of money. On top of that, once again, I will advise you all, whenever you are doing a transaction with someone, be very, very careful. Use vendors like Zelpay, because that can help you stay away from most of the scams related to roommates, related to selling something online. Plus, do not get tempted by someone. अगर आपको कहता है कि यार जहाँ पे बहुत easy रास्ता है, wherever you see an easy way, just do more research, talk to your friends, because that will end up saving you more time and energy. If you think यार ये shortcut बहुत आसान है, कोई आपको बहुत forcibly promote कर रहा है, which might seem tempting, but do discuss with your friends before making that decision. And last, I will say, don't forget to check out Zolve, because it also gives you renters insurance, health insurance opportunity as well. Plus, it has a referral bonus opportunity for you. If you give it to your friend, तो आपके referral bonus से you can make $20 to $30 per referral you get. On top of that, it is pretty secure, and you will be able to get a bank plus credit card as soon as you land. So what are you waiting for? Go check out in my description below, and thank you so much for watching.